Hi everyone, I'm Melanie from the Midland Public Library Maker Place, standing next to our new seed library, and welcome to our first Seedy Saturday. Today we have a special guest, Katie from Georgian Roots Farms, and she's going to talk to us all about pollination.
Hello everyone, my name is Katie McLaughlin. It is spring and I am a farmer, which means just like the birds singing outside, I am busy, starting thousands and thousands of seeds. On our farm, Georgian Roots Flower Farm, we grow mostly flowers, but also some other beautiful plants like pumpkins, which happens to be what I'm starting today. I've got my seeds with me, things like blue ballet and white Cinderella pumpkins and little tiny orange pumpkins called Jill Be Little. And I'm going to be planting them into a plug tray, which I've got sitting on my lap. And I've got dirt all over me, which is par for course at this time of year. But I wanted to take a quick moment to talk about pollination, because if you're starting seeds in your home for your garden, you are also going to want to encourage some pollinators to come and visit your plot, because if you're growing something like pumpkins or cucumbers or another tasty variety, which we'll go over in a moment, you're going to need some pollinators to visit those flowers to actually get the fruit or the vegetable for your harvest at the end of the season. So let's take a quick look at what pollination is and how you can encourage more of it in your garden. Pollination is basically when plants are fertilized by transferring the pollen from the male to the female parts. This is usually on a plant's flower. Okay, let's take a look at this diagram. So here we have a honeybee sitting on a zinnia, and pollination is probably taking place. So the pollen is over here on the anthers, which are these big yellow star-shaped things. And actually you can see little specks and dust bits of pollen falling off them. The pollen here is falling down over onto the stigmas, which are the little yellow Y shapes that the arrow on the right is pointing to. The pollen is going to travel down the stigma to the ovary where it fertilizes, and this is how the seed is produced. There are 3 types of pollination. Self-pollination, which is when a flower can pollinate itself. Animal pollination. This includes insects, birds, or other mammals like bats move pollen from one plant to another. And the 3rd type is wind pollination. You can see just behind me here a row of corn, and they're just starting to put their tops out. As the wind comes by, it blows the pollen down from the top to the silks that come out of the corn stalk. And this is where the pollen has to land in order for those juicy, sweet corn kernels that we know to develop. Some of our favorite things to eat in the garden are plants that need pollinators in order to produce that tasty food, like zucchini, cucumbers, pumpkins, and winter and summer squashes. Other things include berries like raspberries and blueberries, as well as some fruit trees, melons, and a type of bean called runner beans. So what is it that brings pollinators into the garden? This here is a video that I took last summer of the monarch butterflies in the zinnia rows, and there were hundreds. There are a few different factors that create that pollinator attraction and get pollinators into your garden. So color, if you've got a variety of colors of plants, yellow, purple, and blue are especially attractive to bees, as well as a variety of shapes. Fragrance is another really important factor. A strong scent will help attract pollinators into your garden and also aid nighttime pollinators like moths in finding food. 3 other important factors are quantity, reliability, and habitat. So if you've got large patches of flowers, it makes it easier for a pollinator to get their food needs met with less effort. This is attractive. Reliability. So having flowers in your garden that bloom all season long is a good way to provide pollinators for a reason to stick around. Pair this up with habitat, so having a water source, a place for them to rest or build their home, lay their eggs, and overwinter provides that complete habitat to keep pollinators in your garden. Pollinators love native flowers. They're things that they're used to and know how to use well. So some great native flowers, if you want to add these to your garden, would be milkweed, goldenrod, asters, yarrow, bacchia, jewelweed, columbine, or Canada mint. And some great garden varieties to add in. These are all annuals that you can start from seed pretty easily and get them into a pollinator garden. Things like zinnias, calendula, sunflowers, cornflowers, and salvia. And cosmos. Cosmos are easy to start from seed, and they are a durable little annual to add into your garden to attract pollinators. They bloom early on, and they'll keep blooming all the way until your first hard freeze. So I very much recommend adding these into your garden. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining me today to talk about pollination and find out a little bit more about how to grow more flowers and get more pollinators into your garden to get even more food out of your efforts. I am going to get back to planting my seeds now. I've got lots and lots of pumpkins to start, and then when I'm done those pumpkins, I am going to plant some more flowers, some of my absolute favorites, which are these Veneris giant zinnias here. And I think the Seedy library has zinnias too. So if you are looking for some more resources to get started with your own gardening at home, you can check out the Seedy library at the Midland Public Library. Or if you've got questions that I might be able to answer, I'm happy to help. You can send me an email at info@georgianroots.ca. All right, back to my planting. Happy growing, everybody.